Have you ever felt like your brain is a messy room full of facts? It can be hard to find what you need. Well, consider this. A knowledge tree is like a super organizer for your brain. It's a way to draw your thoughts so you can see how everything connects. Think of it as a map of your learning. Instead of just writing a list of words, you create a beautiful branching picture. This picture helps you see the big ideas and all the little details that go with them. It turns a jumble of information into a clear, organized masterpiece. Learning becomes an adventure when you can see where you're going. So, what does a knowledge tree look like? It looks exactly like a tree. You start with the main idea, which is like the strong trunk of the tree. This is your core topic, the big thing you want to learn about. From that trunk, you draw big branches. These branches are the main categories or important parts of your topic. Then from those big branches, you draw smaller branches and tiny twigs. These are for all the smaller facts, details, and examples. Finally, you have the leaves, where you can write down specific words, questions, or cool ideas. It's a living diagram of your knowledge. Why does this simple drawing trick work so well for our amazing brains? Our brains are not like filing cabinets that store information in separate, neat folders. They are more like giant webs, with billions of connections. When you learn something new, your brain cells, called neurons, make new connections. Drawing a knowledge tree helps you build these connections visually. You are literally drawing the links between ideas. This helps your memory grab onto the information more strongly. It's like giving your brain a handle to hold onto, making it easier to remember things later on. This method of learning is sometimes called syntopic learning. That's a fancy way of saying you are bringing together ideas from many different places to build a deeper understanding. A knowledge tree is a perfect tool for this. You can read a book, watch a video, and listen to a teacher, then add all that information to your single tree. It helps you compare what different sources say and find the connections between them. You're not just memorizing facts, you're building a rich, interconnected web of knowledge. It makes learning active and so much more fun. Consider it. Ready to build your very own knowledge tree? It's easy and fun. The first step is to choose your main topic. This will be the trunk of your tree. Let's say you want to learn about planets in our solar system. You would write that right in the middle of your page. This is your starting point, the foundation of all your new knowledge. Picking a topic you are curious about is key, because curiosity is the fuel for learning. It makes the whole process feel less like work and more like a scientific expedition into the unknown. Next, it's time to gather your information and grow some branches. What are the main ideas about the planets? You could make a branch for inner planets and another for outer planets. Or maybe your branches are a list of the planets themselves: Mercury, Venus, Earth, and so on. These main branches help you break down the big topic into smaller, more manageable parts. Think of this step as creating the main structure of your tree. You are building the skeleton that will hold all the fascinating details you are about to discover. Now for the fun part, adding the smaller branches, twigs, and leaves. For each main branch, start adding details. On your Mars branch, you could add smaller branches for the red planet, has 2 moons, and rovers have visited. These are the specific facts that bring your topic to life. The leaves can be for tiny details, like the names of the moons, Phobos and Deimos. Or a question you have, like, is there water on Mars? Don't be afraid to make your tree big and full of information. The more you add, the more you learn. Finally, the most important step is to look for connections. This is what makes a knowledge tree so powerful. Can you draw a dotted line between your Earth branch and your Mars branch and label it, both have polar ice caps? These connections are what build deep understanding. They help your brain see the bigger picture and understand how different pieces of information relate to each other. Your knowledge tree isn't just a collection of facts. It's a dynamic map of relationships. It's science in action. You don't need any fancy equipment to start building knowledge trees. The simplest tools are often the best. A large piece of paper or a notebook and some colorful pens or pencils are all you really need. Using different colors for different types of branches can make your tree even clearer and more fun to look at. A big whiteboard is also a fantastic tool, especially if you are working with friends. It gives you lots of space to draw, erase, and rearrange your ideas as you learn. The physical act of drawing helps lock the information into your memory. Of course, we live in a digital age, and there are amazing computer programs for this too. Apps like MindMeister, Xmind, or even simple drawing programs let you create beautiful, complex knowledge trees. The advantage of digital tools is that you can easily move branches around, add add links to websites, and save your tree to look at later. You can make it as big as you want without running out of paper. Whether you choose paper or pixels, the important thing is to find a tool that feels comfortable and lets your ideas flow freely. Experiment and see what works best for you. Let's try a real-world example. How about foods that help your brain? This would be our trunk. Our main branches could be healthy fats, antioxidants, and vitamins. From the healthy fats branch, we could add smaller branches for omega-3s and avocados. From omega-3s, we could add leaves for salmon and walnuts. On the antioxidants branch, we might add berries and dark chocolate. Can you see how we are building a map of brain-boosting foods? It's much easier to remember than a simple list. As you learn more, your tree can grow and change. Maybe you read an article that says green tea is also great for your brain. You can simply go back to your tree and add a new branch for it. A knowledge tree is a living document. It's not meant to be perfect the first time. It should evolve along with your understanding. This process of updating and refining your tree is a powerful part of learning. It shows you how far you've come and helps you organize new information as you find it. So go ahead, start planting those seeds of knowledge. Building a knowledge tree does something amazing for your memory. When you just read a list of facts, your brain tries to remember each one separately. That's a lot of work. But when you organize those facts into a tree, you are creating a story or a structure. Your brain is much better at remembering structures and relationships than it is at remembering isolated bits of data. Each branch and leaf becomes a hook that helps you pull out the other information connected to it. If you remember healthy fats, you are more likely to remember avocados and salmon. This method also helps you truly understand a topic, not just memorize it. Understanding means seeing the connections and the big picture. A knowledge tree forces you to think about how ideas are related. You have to decide what the main topic is, what the big categories are, and where the little details fit. This active process of sorting and connecting information builds a much deeper and more meaningful understanding than passively reading a textbook. You are not just a spectator in your learning. You are the architect of your own knowledge. One of the best things about this technique is that it makes learning creative and personal. There is no single right way to make a knowledge tree. Your tree will look different from someone else's because your brain makes different connections. You can use drawings, symbols, and colors that make sense to you. This ownership makes the information feel like it's truly yours. It turns learning from a chore into a creative act of discovery. When learning is fun, we are more motivated to do it, and the information sticks with us for a long, long time. So, I encourage you to give it a try. Pick a subject you're curious about. It could be anything from dinosaurs to electricity to the history of video games. Grab a piece of paper or open a program and start building your very own knowledge tree. Watch how a complicated topic becomes simple and clear right before your eyes. You'll be strengthening your brain, boosting your memory, and most importantly, you'll be making learning an exciting adventure. Now that's what I call using your brain. Go get started. The world is full of amazing things to learn.